Watch this young player's practice match get broken down in real time. The tactical coaching moments here are pure gold. Welcome, today we're watching a live practice match and coaching it in real time so you can learn how to read the game and think tactically. Our young player is giving up a handicap start, which means every point matters even more. Watch how the rallies develop. Right now the score is 7-2, and the player trailing needs to stay aggressive. Sitting back and waiting is not an option when you're behind on the scoreboard. Notice the footwork between shots. Even under pressure, you have to keep your feet active, stay balanced, and look for the first opportunity to attack. That willingness to step in and take the initiative with an early loop or a quick flick is what separates players who claw back deficits from those who just hope the opponent misses. The score is tightening, 7-3, 7-4, and the trailing player is finally committing to proactive attacks instead of passive rallying. Next, second game now, and the score resets to 0-0 with 4 points on the board. This is where mental reset matters. Forget the last game and find your rhythm early. Watch the serve. Keeping it low over the net and varying the spin forces the receiver to guess. Notice how the stance is compact, weight slightly forward on the balls of the feet, ready to transition into the next shot. Good energy here, the tempo is picking up. Nice rally there. Watch the quality of that last ball, clean contact, good acceleration through the stroke. The score moves to 5-3, then 5-4. What I want you to notice is how the pressure of a close score changes shot selection. When it's tight like this, players tend to shorten their backswing and play safer, but that actually makes you more vulnerable because your shots lose depth and spin. You need to trust your technique, commit to a full stroke, brush up through the ball, and let the topspin do the work of keeping it on the table. That confidence in your own mechanics is what carries you through tight games. 5-all now, this game is completely even. The key at this stage is controlling the pace and placement. Beautiful shot, 6-5. That was a sharp angle change right down the sideline. Redirecting to the wide forehand or backhand corner like that forces your opponent into a long reach, and a stretched player can't generate quality on the next ball. Use width to create openings. 7-5, now 8-5. The lead is growing, but watch, the shots are getting a little loose, drifting off target. When you build a comfortable margin, there's a natural tendency to relax your focus and let your technique get sloppy. The racket angle opens up, the wrist gets lazy, and suddenly balls are floating long or wide. Stay disciplined. Keep your contact point out in front, maintain that forward body rotation, and finish every stroke with intent. 8-6, that last serve was caught in between, not short enough to stay low on the table, not long enough to attack cleanly. A half-long serve is a gift to your opponent. Commit one way or the other. Now watch, the receiver reads the spin and catches it cleanly. 8-7. Here's an important point. With new rubber on the forehand side, you need to adjust. The surface is grippier, so a flat power loop will fly long. Instead, use a spin loop, brush up steeply, add more arc, and let gravity bring it down. 10-7. There's a slight hesitation creeping in, the strokes are getting shorter, more tentative. That's what we call shrinking the ball. When you pull back on your swing at the last moment, you lose both speed and spin and the ball sits up. 10-8 now. The gap is closing fast. At this level, 3 points can vanish in 30 seconds if you stop being proactive. Keep your backswing full, accelerate through contact, and trust the stroke you've been drilling. 10-9, just 1 point in it now. Think about this. When you have the serve, that is your best chance to dictate the rally from the very first ball. A well-placed serve with deceptive spin sets up your third ball attack. If you waste your service games, you're left trying to win points on receive, which is far harder. Beautiful, that serve was low, short, and loaded with backspin. The receiver couldn't do anything aggressive with it. 11-10, then back to 10 all, deuce. Every serve placement counts now. 12-11, then back to 12 all. You can see the nerves, the shots are becoming uncertain, the placement wandering. At deuce, the mental game is everything. The player who stays calm and commits to a plan wins. Watch the stroke quality. When you're anxious, your arm tightens and the wrist locks up so the ball comes off flat with no spin. Force yourself to stay loose, relax the grip, let the wrist snap through contact, and focus on brushing the ball rather than hitting it. 13-12 now. Notice the shot direction is unpredictable. That's actually a sign of indecision, not deception. Games are tied 1-all now after the switch. Think about that, a 10-7 lead evaporated. Letting a big lead slip is almost always about shot selection, not technique. Stay aggressive, stay smart. Now 6-5 now. Beautiful serve, placed low and tight to the forehand side, forcing a weak return. That's 7-5. Watch the serve here. The key is keeping the toss low and contacting the ball close to the table so it stays short. A good short serve takes away the opponent's ability to attack first. 7-6. The server is dictating the rally by varying placement, sometimes wide to the forehand, sometimes into the body. That body serve jams the receiver's elbow and kills their swing path. Beautiful 8-6. The hook serve received there was excellent, redirecting the spin back with a quick wrist adjustment. 8-7 now. And just like that, 7-all, see how fast a lead disappears. Once you let the opponent loop first, you're on the back foot. The moment that topspin loop gets initiated, your only options are a desperate block or a counter loop, and both are low percentage plays under pressure. The lesson is clear: keep the ball short, keep it low, and deny the attack. Once the opponent lifts the ball with a full loop, the rally is essentially over for the defender. 8-all now. Then 10-all, here we go again, deuce territory. 11-all, at this stage, trust your feet. When you stop believing in your footwork, you start reaching with your arm, and reaching means poor contact and no control. Watch the movement patterns. Small adjustment steps between every shot, weight staying on the balls of the feet, never flat-footed. Slow down the rhythm, there's no rush. Get into position first, then commit to the stroke. 12-11. Notice the player who moves first after the serve has the advantage. Footwork isn't just about getting to the ball, it's about arriving balanced so your stroke has structure. The opponent's defense is actually quite strong, so every attack needs to be well placed, not just powerful. Think carefully about this serve. Beautiful, the opponent didn't even get a chance to attack. 12-all. Here's the tactical dilemma. You want to serve short to prevent the loop, but after a short push comes back, you're afraid the opponent will jump on it. So you hesitate, and hesitation is the real enemy. Commit to a plan. If you serve short, be ready for the push and attack it yourself. If you can't commit, then change the pattern entirely. Play your own game, follow your own strategy. 12-all still. Beautiful point, 13-12. That rally was won because the player finally trusted the plan and executed without second guessing. A tough loss, but there's real progress here. Earlier matches showed a player who would serve and then freeze, no plan, no movement, just waiting. Now there's actual rally construction, 2 or 3 exchanges even from a disadvantaged position, reading the spin, adjusting placement. That's growth. The big takeaways from this match: first, serve placement decides who attacks first, keep it short and varied. Second, once your opponent initiates the loop, you're defending on their terms, so deny that opening.